Sean was saying what a unique challenge this is for him this week between Christian being born yesterday and trying to turn around for Thursday. How are you seeing him approach this challenge?
He's been the same old guy I've seen, He's obviously a dedicated family man, but he's also dedicated to us, so he's been doing a great job. I think he's relied on the other coaches as well to help out where he can't, and it'll be a collaborative effort as it always is, but he's been around as much as I've seen him, so he's ready to rock and roll.
Matthew, you've been doing this for a long time, but for you as a football player, what's the hardest thing about an early turnaround of a Thursday night matchup?
Oh, physically. I mean, I think that's the most difficult part, especially this late in the season. Going into our 15th game we'll be playing. You got 14 under the belt, and then trying to turn around and play in a couple days is tough, especially for somebody as old as I am. So that's the biggest thing. Obviously, you got a great opponent that we're playing in a tough environment as well, that not to be discounted. But for personally, for me, it's physically it's probably the toughest part.
Matthew, I know with rain and weather, we always make a big deal in the media about it. But what, from your perspective, if anything, changes with rain?
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. Depends on. I don't know how granular you want to get. It's just like how rainy is it? We played in London, and there was early in that game was really slick, and both teams have to play in it, so you just got to adjust as you play, and then it got a little bit drier as the game went on, and we were able to adjust. And then I think same for Carolina, really kind of opposite, right? Started a little bit drier, and then became rainy there for a little bit, and then kind of dried back out at the end. So you just got to, call the game, play the game as the weather, allows you to. And for me personally, just try to do everything I can to continue to do what I always do, throw it in a good spot and let those guys go make plays.
How's the way that you advantage to playing a team that you just played a couple of weeks ago?
I don't think there's an advantage. No, there's no disadvantage either. I think it's just, who's going to go out there and play better on Thursday. That's what it really boils down to every single week in this league, no matter, who's matching up against who. So we understand that. We prepare to try to go be that team every single week, and this week's no different.
If Devontae does not play and Mumpfield gets a bigger role, what have you seen? What'll it be like if Devontae's not there, and what have you seen from Mumpfield that gives you confidence that he can add?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what Tay's status is quite yet. I know he's going to do everything he can to be out there. But, as far as Mump goes, I'll just speak to him as a player. I think he's a really talented route runner. He's shown up in some spots for us on third down in the red zone this year. If he had to have an expanded role, ton of trust and confidence in his preparation, the coaching staff around him, that room to get all those guys really ready to play, whoever's available.
Last few weeks, there have been a few plays where you and Terrence have just missed on big connections. Where do you feel like you guys are in terms of troubleshooting your chemistry and where you got his progress?
Oh, just keep playing. Just keep playing. Had a chance for a touchdown on one, would have been a hell of a catch. Had a chance for a touchdown on another. Got to give him a better ball. It's football. Keep it moving.
When you guys come out in 13 personnel and you see that the other team is matching that with heavy or base personnel, how much does that impact your pre and post snap processes?
Well, it has a lot to do with the kind of plays that we call. That's probably more so anything. And then obviously understanding what kind of pressure, coverage, front packages they have shown on tape in certain personnel groupings on the defensive side of the ball. Other than that, go play ball. We've got talented tight ends that can block in the run game, but can also run and catch like receivers, so we're lucky in that regard.
You mentioned the rain. Does the way your running back's been playing help you guys at all in that situation?
Well, yeah. I mean, if it's difficult to throw, obviously being able to run the football will be paramount and key. And I think back to even the Carolina game, got really rainy there for what was that, early in the fourth quarter, mid-fourth quarter, I feel like it was. And I feel like we had an entire drive almost, maybe a couple plays here and there where we threw it. But guys started with a big run by Blake down the sideline. But that drive was, steady handing the ball off and our guys winning up front. So, like I said, both teams will have to play in it. Whatever it is, it is. We'll go play the game and figure out, try to find a way to win it.
It was really tough for you guys to move the ball against Seattle in that game entirely. Just not only one really long drive, I think. You knew they were good on tape, but did anything stand out that you saw after playing them?
Yeah, really good physical defense. Obviously well coached, big front, solid and sound in the back end. Second level players are really good players as well. So, really talented team, and a really well coached team. We had a short field a bunch of times. Thanks to our defense, played outstanding, and so that kind of skews the game. Feels a little bit weird sometimes where you don't have a lot of like normal field calls. You got the ball in the red zone a bunch. You're starting to drive inside. I'm not complaining. That was great, but got to finish one off early. Obviously, had a 4th down conversion that didn't happen for us down in there on a throw that I can make. So just go out there, continue to play the game, and know we're going against a really formidable opponent in Seattle.
No, you'll approach it like you always do, but can you acknowledge, given both teams' records and what's at stake, that this is kind of a bigger game than usual for you?
Well, yeah, it's a big one. They all are at this point in the season, and obviously we know we're playing a team that's had a ton of success this year. It's a tough place to play. It's a tough team to play because of who's on the field and who's coaching them. We understand that, and this is what you love playing NFL football for. It's a quick turnaround to get this one going, which is sometimes difficult, but we'll be ready to rock and roll.
Kyren Blake's consistent efficiency, just what is that as a tandem from them done for you guys?
It's been great. It's been great. Both those guys can really do everything we ask of a back in this offense, which is cool too. Like, we don't have to, when one guy's in, we're doing one thing, and one guy's in, we're doing another. Both those guys, are playing at a really high level, bringing their own run style to life. But we can do anything and everything with those guys, so it's cool to have them both playing so well.
Are there any ways that you've noticed the Seahawks defense change or evolve just from the first time you played them, or is it more of the same?
It's been a pretty quick turnaround, so it hasn't been too much, change, I would say. I wouldn't change too much if I were them. They're playing at a pretty good clip, so they're doing a nice job. So 20's back a little bit more. He was injured the first time we played him. Reed inside, I think the same. So a couple personnel pieces, but they're going to line up, do their thing, mix it as they always do, and play fast and physical. And it's on us to match and exceed that.
Jared, do you guys as a defense get excited for weather games?
Yeah, I mean, I like the rain, I like the snow, I like all that kind of stuff. I just don't like like OD heat, like you playing in like the Cardinals in like September. Like, I'm not doing all that. But but like rain and stuff, I like that.
What makes rain fun?
I think it's good. It's just like good hit. Like you really hit somebody, they really feel it. You see the rain pop off, like in slow motion, it look good. In the moment, it look good. I really think it's like poetry at work, to be honest with you.
You guys were able to force numerous turnovers the last time you played these guys. What do you anticipate them changing things up so that you guys can't get as much pressure, or do you expect to kind of see them just try and beat you guys face up?
I think obviously you got to make changes. Like, we're making changes from the last time we played them. I expect them to make the similar changes to this second time. Obviously no one wants to have 4 turnovers. I think they're going to do everything they can to change that. Maybe he holds the ball a little bit longer. That gives me and the guys a chance up front. Maybe they have different routes and stuff like that that our DB's going to have to pick up. Whatever it is, we're going to be ready for it.
Came up with different things that you guys can still play with the speed of the defense, but put your own spin on that. How have you seen that play out?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, we have a conversation about it every day. Like, it's what your ops are, what are your opportunities to make a play. Sometimes you just got to do your 1 of 11. Sometimes you get the opportunity, you can do this, you can do that, whatever you feel is the best thing to get you to make a play. So whenever we have those opportunities, we just got to know it, and you just got to be confident and make a good decision.
How does it make you feel when you hear that you haven't earned off of the play?
It makes me feel good because, it makes me know that, like, the coaches believe in my abilities. My teammates feel confident. Like, when you have an op, it's not like do what you can. Like, you have to win because we're all counting on you to win. Like, you're the playmaker in that situation. We have to work off you. So, like, when you get an op, you have to win.
What's the excitement for a game like this? Divisional opponent, 2-11-win teams, prime time.
I mean, it doesn't change much. I mean, like I say everything, like, this is a very good team. I said it the first time, I'm going to say it the second time. Our main focus is just going in there and winning. I don't care about prime time. I don't care about anyone's record. Like, when you go onto that field, it's 0-0. Whether you got 2 wins, whether you got 11.
Where have you seen the most growth out of Josaiah Stewart just from the beginning of the year to now?
I think it's his mental aspect and how he's grown mentally, on the field. You see the way he plays, he kind of reading the defense. Some teams will play in 11 personnel, they do this, 12 personnel, they do that. He's able to decipher what's happening in each personnel, and that's honestly something that not a lot of first-year players have. It's usually a second-year player that, I just kind of got the hang of that. So to see him be able to get that on that early, I'm like, all right, I'm excited for him in year 2.
You haven't gone through that rookie year last year. Are you able to share some tips or ideas with him on how to handle his rookie year?
Yeah, I mean, I try to give him the tips I have and everything like that. I leaned on Hoyt a lot, BY a lot, so I try to give him what I can. But sometimes I feel like also it's better to learn yourself. You know, like if we're in practice, sometimes I'll tell him a little something like be prepared for this. Sometimes I won't because I want to see how he'll react to it. And in real time, I'll talk to him after the play. But that's just something I do as like a, you know, my dad always did that with me. My brothers did that with me. I do it with people.
You're only in your second year, but how have you seen yourself progress?
I think it's a mental aspect of, you know, maybe not every time I have to be the dude putting up, you know, a lot of sacks, a lot of tackles, a lot of doing this, that, the third. I just got to do my job. And if I do that, that's good enough. I mean, we're sitting in a comfortable place right now. Obviously, I wish we could take those 3 losses back, but, you know, we're in a good spot right now, but we got to keep going.
There's been a lot of talk about, you know, the Rams' offensive 13 personnel, but as a defensive player, is that something that you're aware of, you know, when offenses go into heavier personnel? Is that something that you notice?
I mean, yeah, that's something I noticed, like, you know, when we're playing teams like that, they, you know, to try to get the run off, you got to add in a couple more people. You know, you got to add in another extra tackle, another tight end. You got to do these heavy personnels where it's 13 personnel, 12T, all this extra stuff. When you got to do that, that just lets us know, all right, like they don't really feel too confident in their run because that's one of the things that they have to do to kind of knock us off. So we just have to be better, you know, planning for that and, you know, knowing how we got to handle that stuff.